All right, welcome to another episode of Old Gold. Today we have my fearless leader Jeremy and my very good friend Mario Innecco. You guys may know him as Innecco64 on YouTube. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about our projects, probably touch on the trip that Mario and I recently had to Korea, and we're going to be talking about the markets and where we think things are headed in the future. Yeah, here we go. So really good to have you guys on. Mario, I haven't really been face to face with you since our trip to Korea. We chat a bit on WhatsApp, but it's really good to see you and always good to have a chat with you, buddy. And in the background, you can see our official mascot, Rudy, who is Mario's dog.
Hi, Rudy. Say
Hey,
hello.
Rudy.
Rudy, come over, mate.
Rudy, you want to come up?
Come
Come
on,
on.
darling.
Come on, Rudy. There you go. Good
He's
boy.
Chancery's official mascot.
There you go.
Oh,
So it's always nice to see him.
Isn't he
Hey,
gorgeous?
Rudy.
Yeah.
How you
Yeah,
doing,
he's
buddy?
been out. He's been digging in the garden. I had to clean his paws.
That's what they do.
Yeah. Anyway, get down now. Good boy.
All right. So take it away, Jeremy. You could all see that Jeremy's got his Gold Road hat on today, so we might be touching a little bit on some recent success that Jim has had. If you haven't seen the episode with Jim, who's in charge of the Gold Road operation, I suggest watching that episode because it's a pretty good one.
oh yeah, it's a great one. And Jim, Raj, Alex, Kelly, the whole team at Gold Road have just had a fantastic month. But just want to first thank Mario for joining us today. Mario joined our board of Chancery Royalty back in January. He's really part of the corporate team now. We meet up a lot, and his advice and his wisdom, speaks 5 languages. Like, we just couldn't imagine a better person to be part of our team. And just, yeah, it's just so great. You've been obviously to Ethiopia, Mario. You've also, as Eric said, went to Korea, and next month you're going back home to Brazil. So really just phenomenal to have you part of the group now. But yeah, no, Gold Road, phenomenally, yeah, just a fantastic April and just getting stronger and stronger. And to think we bought that mine only a year ago, we had it in production within 6 months, and we're listing it. We're listing it in June in Oslo, Norway, with Heinz Svein Harald and also Niels. So I think that's going to be an absolutely outstanding success for our group, and probably on the day of listing be an 8 to 10x for the guys who came in on that round. So yeah, well done the boys in Oatman, Arizona. A great, really huge momentum building there at Gold Road. The other thing, Eric, I wanted to just bring up for a minute, but next week I'm actually heading back to Amapá in northern Brazil. Now Mario's been to northern Brazil. Mario is Brazilian. I'm going home to Tucano Gold, which is really probably our biggest of our 4 gold mines. It's the old, you remember Great Panther, or it used to be called Beadle Resources. It was also had some pretty famous owners in the past, like Ike Batista. You know Ike Batista, Mario, was at one point the richest man in the world, and that was one of his defining trades when he had Mina Tucano. It was owned by Gold Corp, and we bought that back in November 23, would you believe, for $3.7 million cash. I mean, today it would cost you $1 to $1.5 billion to build. It actually, so we're visiting because it just started commissioning last week, which was a huge accomplishment by Ivan and the whole team there. And that's going to be 150,000 ounces a year. So that's a decent, really good sized mine. And it's going to be quite emotional for me to go back, because we did go through some pretty tough times back in the summer of 24. Really found it hard to find the money. Got let down by lots and lots of different groups in Canada, or the Shell guys, investors but thankfully the support of our true supporters, our 2,400 supporters now, investors we have now, got us through. And I think that experience is the reason we have Old Gold, Eric, is the reason we do what we do. Because when I went through that tough patch with Tucano, it made us realize you can never rely on big investors or big funds or big brokers. They always let you down. But we have such amazing supporters, don't we? Just incredible, who've just stuck with us on our 6 companies.
Yeah, we've got some pretty great investors, and there's always new ones coming in, which is fantastic. Some of you find us, many of you actually find us through Mario. Some of you find us through other means. Some of you watch this channel, Old Gold, and you end up clicking on the link and coming through us that way. But it's always good to have. There's a lot of our investors that have followed us across lots of projects. My friend Jeremy Willits is one of those. And we've got lots of them, and all the new investors that are coming in. It's really fantastic because these also are probably going to be investors, many of them who will follow us through future projects. So yeah, it's always good. It's always good to chat with them as well. We've got so many investors that are really have their finger on the pulse, and they can provide information to us the same as we can provide information to them. And it's really it's a good relationship. This business is what we do, investor relations, is it's relationship based, right? So it's really good to have a relationship with people and to keep that going across projects. It's a lot of fun, actually.
The hat that Mario's wearing, Pilar Gold, Mario, so you're coming down to Pilar and you're going to be our guest of honor. And actually, we've got a number of people since you announced that you're going to Brazil on your show who now want to join. And we're just finalizing a date at the end of June. But tell us about your time in Brazil. And, obviously you grew up there. And, you've never been to Goiás, where the Pilar Gold Mine is, have you?
No, I haven't. I was born in Brazil, 1964. The name of the channel tells it, Innecco 64. And I was born in Niterói, actually, which is across the bay from Rio. Brazil, at least when I was growing up, a lot of the activity was a bit like Australia on the coast, the southeast, Rio, Sao Paulo. So the interior of Brazil was underdeveloped. And that's where they built the capital, Brasilia, which wasn't there until the 1960s. So one of the ideas of Brasilia was to help expand the development of the country, and I think it has, I guess, to some extent. I've never been to Goiás, so that will be really interesting. And you spoke about Amapá. If you want to, I can talk a little bit about that. Or
yeah, please. You've been to Amapá, haven't you?
Yeah, and not for long, but it was an interesting story because back in the 1987, I was just finished university, but I took like a gap year, and my dad said, "Let's take my boat and we'll go up the coast of Brazil into the Amazon." And back out, and then we ended up in Trinidad. But on the way there, on the way out from the Amazon, we stopped in Amapá, which is on the left-hand side of. There's a big island at the mouth of the Amazon, and we stopped in Macapá, the capital, because with the boat you always have to stop once in a while to refuel or get more supplies. And we went to Macapá, and the equator crosses there, so it's an interesting place. And you asked me when you first started speaking with me, have you been to Amapá? And you were surprised that I said yes, because you said 99% of Brazilians, probably even more, 99.5, haven't been there. So it's interesting that this mine, Tucano, is coming back online.
Oh, it's a beautiful mine, Mario. I think it's 10 million ounces. The credit should actually go to Beadle Resources from Australia, who did a lot of work back in 13, 14, 15, building a huge circuit, 10,000 tons a day. But it's funny, you get to Macapá and you just drive 3 hours straight into the Amazon, which I find that's amazing, that people can actually think how to build a mine in the middle of the Amazon. I couldn't get my head around it, and it's a beautiful complex. So really excited to see it. So Mario, how long were you on the boat for with your dad? And was that must have been a long journey?
Yeah, it was 6 months. I think we left around October, because I remember when the boat was in Rio, in the marina in Rio, in the bay. October 3rd is my birthday, and one of my sisters was there. She didn't come with us, but she was there. and she wanted to buy a cake for my birthday, and she went to the supermarket, and there was nothing on the shelves because the Brazilian currency had just collapsed. And I remember my dad having to go to a small farm in the interior. He knew someone, luckily, and they butchered a whole cow, or for the meat for us to take on the trip, and that meat lasted a long time. And the boat was like really self-sufficient. It wasn't a big boat, like 65 feet. Yeah, it is big, but it's not a mega yacht. But it had generators, it had a wine cellar, everything. So the trip, we started from Rio, went to Vitoria, we went to Salvador, Recife, Natal, Belém, and then we went into the Amazon, and the final destination in the Amazon was Manaus, but along the way we went down the Tapajós River, and there we saw like the pink dolphins, and it's a beautiful river. Sometimes you can't see the other side of that river, and they have beaches there too, which I found amazing. Yeah, and then we came out, on the way out, it was really rough going out of the Amazon. Really choppy, and we stopped in Macapá, and after that we didn't stop over very long. We went into the Atlantic. We passed. Do you know the story of? Is it Devil's Island? We saw that from the. There's a story about Devil's Island. I think it's a French story, and then we ended up spending Christmas in Port of Spain in Trinidad.
I think Devil's Island is where they used to send the convicts, wasn't it? The French. Is that?
Yeah,
they made a movie.
Yeah. We saw that.
What was it called? It's called that French, the butterfly. What's the?
Yeah, papillon.
Yeah. That was that would have been horrible.
Yeah, we saw that island when we're going towards Trinidad.
That's amazing. So you spent 6 months with your dad on a boat. Isn't that such a beautiful, must look back and just treasure that time, Mario. No, Brazil is so big, and you don't realize until you sort of start driving and you're just here in that tiny little pimple. I mean, it's just a huge country. It's different to Australia, where Australia is 95% desert, right? I mean, it's just such a rich country. Been a great place for us with Pilar Gold, with Tucano Gold. Just love, they've always given us a second chance, and, we just really love Brazil. So proud that you're coming home with us in June, Mario. Maybe, Eric, obviously this last week's been quite a week for gold, eh?
Yeah, it has. We've seen I think Mario and I have talked before about, what going forward, just because of the nature of, the reason that precious metals are zooming is because there's certain aspects of the world that are kind of falling apart. And as that moves forward, the volatility is going to get a lot higher. So, 10 years ago, it wasn't very common to see $100 or $150 gold moves in a day. But I think that's going to be, more common as we go forward. But it has been an interesting week for sure for gold. Long term, we all know where it's going. I don't think there's any debating that. So, it's just sort of, at this point, I think a lot of investors are looking at smart investors are looking at this as it's dropped down to sort of where it looks like it's basing around 4,500-ish. And a lot of investors are looking at that as, okay, well, now is the time to grab with both hands, because the next leg up is probably going to be pretty big, and pretty volatile as well. So it's better to grab it where it's kind of based. I don't know. What do you think about that, Mario?
Yeah, I mean, we also saw some news about from the World Gold Council, and I'm not a fan of them, but they keep good records. That central bank buying in the first quarter was a record. The Chinese, not only gold, but they're buying silver hand over fist. The other thing I noticed yesterday is that the AI bubble continues. The NASDAQ and the S&P closed at all-time highs. They look like they're melting up. And it reminds me of the dot-com bubble, because it was very similar. And it can keep going. It can keep going for a while longer. But do you remember when the dot-com bubble burst in 01, 02? Gold and silver bottom, right? and started a huge bull market, and from $250, but now we're at 4,700. So can you imagine if just a 5-10% of all the money that is in AI now goes to gold? If once it starts deflating, it's going to be huge.
You know, the other big winner of AI is tungsten, isn't it, Eric? I didn't even know that this whole theme of AI drill bits and all this stuff. And I got to say, a special thanks to everyone who supported Pure Tungsten round, the 50-cent round. We just absolutely knocked it out of the park, and thank you so much. We now have Sanjong producing hopefully in June, and you guys were in Korea, weren't you? So tell us quickly a bit more what you thought, Mario. How did you enjoy Korea?
Well, I've never been there, and I was really impressed. I knew it was a country that has really come of age. I remember in 1988 they had the Summer Olympics, and that was a big deal. I'm that old to remember. And they were devastated. I like my history, so the Korean War from 1950 to 53, they were dirt poor, and they've come back, and now it's like a first world country. So it's a really good jurisdiction to have a mine, and I guess their regulatory regime is probably a little not as onerous as in Western Europe or even North America. So I think it's a great place to run a mine, and I was really impressed with the country.
Yeah, we took a group as if you've been watching the show, you probably know that we went, Mario and I went on a trip to Korea with our group was probably about 10 or 11, and many were investors. In fact, a previous episode, I had Mike and Ava Hebner on, and they'd come on that trip as well. They flew all the way in from Detroit. But overall, just people meeting Tiger, because Tiger is a man on a mission. And if you meet him and you talk to him, he's highly impressive because he can answer any question, obviously, that you throw at him. But he's just so capable and so knowledgeable about what he's doing there. So everybody came away with a sense after we'd seen the mine, the processing facility. We went to the YG1 factory as well. YG1 is the largest tungsten consumer in Korea and the largest industrial tool maker in the world. So that was highly impressive. And everybody walked away with a sense that not only is Korea a beautiful country, but it's a pretty good place to have a tungsten operation. And to have Tiger at the head of it as well. So everybody walked away very impressed. And it was a really good trip. It was grueling schedule a bit. The first day was 18 hours.
Yeah, Tiger's, you can see Tiger is a hard worker because he got us, we needed to be down in the hotel at the lobby to leave at 6:30, and we got back around 11:30 at night.
Yeah. And the next morning was back on the bus at 8, so, but it was good. It was such a great trip.
And the tungsten market is so strong right now. I mean, I got the report from Friday, because they report tungsten once a week somewhere in China and Rotterdam. The price is still firm at $320,000 a ton. Now, put it in perspective, 18 months ago it was $40,000 a ton. So it's gone up 9 or 10 times. And we were talking about this, weren't we, Eric? I don't know any commodity that's ever done a 9 or 10x in 12 or 18 months. So it's really exciting times for Pure Tungsten. But also going back to gold for a minute, I tell you what, and obviously Mario's on the board of Chancery, and hasn't Chancery grown quickly, Mario? It's just amazing how quickly we are growing as a group, isn't it?
Yeah, no, and you and Enrique are always on the lookout for new opportunities.
We do have an announcement coming up this week. It's a really, really nice royalty in Timmins. So I can't say too much because we're buying that from a group, but it should be in production in 2 years and very high grade. So yeah, Chancery royalty. I tell you what, it is really at the $3 round that we have right now. That's 0.25 times price to NAV. And our peers like Versamet and Elemental are nearly 2 times price NAV. And there's also, I must say, the last week or two, there's been some pretty crazy acquisitions on the royalty space for cash, like Versamet's purchase of SK Creek for 300 plus million US of cash. That's for about 10,000 GEOs, which is a lot, right? Chancery is going to 20,000 GEOs, but they bought that one royalty for 10,000 GEOs for over 300 million. And then I saw Metals Royalty bought an iron ore royalty in the States. Again, 130 million for 3,000 GEOs. So a GEO, 1,000 GEOs now is going for like 40 million bucks. And Chancery is going to do 4,000 GEOs this year, 8,000 next year as a perspective. So, and then growing to 20,000. So, yeah, Chancery Royalty, super fast business we're growing. And we always say, don't we, Eric, that the royalty guys call themselves that because they think they are royalty. They think they are related to Kate and Wills and Prince Harry and the hoi polloi. We're simple mining folks. So we just had a tremendous response. And I think people love the way, you know, we're the handshake sort of style, where the old style of management, where we just handshake is our bond. And we often, like recently with our Buxton deal, you had Lester on the show, didn't you? You had Lester. So we actually have been giving money to Lester to get started before we even complete the royalty agreement, which is a massive no-no, right, in the royalty space. That is like, oh my God, that's a sackable offense. That's why we build trust, and that's why he loves us. We love him, and we do more and more of these sorts of deals. Even with Pure Tungsten, when we did Pure Tungsten, like we were funding Tiger. We were funding Tiger for the last 12 months before the merger was even complete. And again, huge no-no in the private equity world. And that's, again, why we have the hottest tungsten story in the market, because we're handshake guys. We back the guy. We trust them. And incidentally, I don't know if you know this, but I think Pure Tungsten is the only mining merger with a Korean company ever. So, you know, companies can buy subsidiaries in Korea, but we actually merged with a Korean entity called GBI, spent 9 months with Korean lawyers, which is, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone, but we got there and we did it. And that's a huge milestone for us, isn't it? Don't you think?
At this point, it's nothing but clear skies for Pure Tungsten and where it's going. When you consider the price of tungsten in the last year, and you know, tungsten, as we all know, is not it's a war metal, but it's not just a war metal. It's used for lots of other things as well. Tooling, obviously, and a lot of that tooling is used for AI. So a lot of angles for tungsten right now to be growing.
Mario, our house view is 7,000 gold by Christmas this year. What's your prediction, mate? You're the best at this, right? We kind of rely on you.
Well, I have a friend of mine. We've been betting on the price of gold for the last 2 years. I think the first bet was 2,700, and gold at the time was around 2,000. And I think I won the bet, and he had to take me and Sarah for lunch, and then he made the bet. And our next bet, we've done it 3 times. The last one was 5,000. He took me out. I know it's come below 5,000, but our bet is that it stays above the level for a while. But now he came back and he said 6,500 is the next bet, and I think that's going to happen before the end of the year. But one thing I've seen, Jeremy, is that a lot of the bullion banks, and I've been following the bullion banks since 2002 when I bought gold, and I always thought they were very conservative with their gold prices, and they had always kept revising them higher because they were like behind the curve. But they're seeing it now from 5,400 Goldman Sachs to like 6,500. So yeah, they could be underestimating it again. So 7,000 wouldn't be unrealistic in my opinion. So
wouldn't that be amazing? Like, just for our beautiful mine, Pilar, which is where our journey started. Just to give people perspective, so Pilar unexpectedly closed in March of 24 when gold was $2,000 an ounce. We just made another payment for 2 more Reserman jumbos and fan drills, which are underground mining equipment. We've ordered 5 of those now. We've just bought 2 LHGs from China that arrive in 2 weeks. The team is so excited to restart. I'm so excited that Mario's coming. We won't produce until probably August, September. But can you imagine, last time we did a gold pour was 2000. And if we're like 5,000, 6,000 for our next first gold pour, we're going to be making $10 to $12 million a month very quickly. And our pre-money valuation for this round is only 140 Canadian, of which, however, 60 Canadian is their stake in Chancery Royalty. And another 15 million is Pilar's stake in this one. Now, we haven't talked about Liva, but Liva is going to list, I think, in the next week. I've been saying that for about 3 weeks now. But Liva Gold in Finland is going to be the next hot story on the TSX. And Pilar so happens to own 6.2 million shares, and I think they come out at $3 a share. So Pilar's probably been in the best place it's ever been now. We restructured the debt. We're hiring aggressively now. A lot of our amazing staff are coming home now. And that's what I love about Brazilians, Mario. They always come home and want to be home near their mum and their dad and their family. And we're so excited about Pilar and getting you down there in June.
I'm excited as well, going back to Brazil for the first time since 2015. And as I said earlier, I've never been to that part of Brazil, so it will be an interesting experience.
No. So Pilar's going well. What else is, Eric, what's on our agenda at the moment? We're super busy at the moment. We're also hiring. We are hiring at the moment in our corporate team. We're looking for young stars like Eric, and aren't we? We're really growing quickly now. We have 8 companies in our stable. We're hopefully going to have a 9th soon that we'll announce, and we just love the amazing support that we're getting from our investors all around the world. And I got to say, the most favourite part of my job, and I think it's the same with you, Eric, is getting to know their story, getting to know you as an investor. I love that part of the aspect of the business, and building that trust, right?
Yeah, we've definitely built some really cool relationships. I guess Jamil is the youngest one in the company, but I would be the next one up the rung, or up the ladder, the next rung up the ladder. So you and Ed and Max have been in this business for quite a long time, and you built a lot of good relationships, and it has been fun for me to do that in the last year or so that I've been on board. It's been really great. It's one of the working with the team, obviously, is probably my favorite part, because we have an awesome team, and now, of course, including Mario as well. But it's all around, I would say this is just such a great business to be in, and a great gig to have. Working with you guys, but working with the investors as well. It's cool. Some of these guys are just cool. You talk to some of these guys, and you wouldn't know that they had money behind them. They're just really cool, normal people. We get talking about motorcycles and all sorts of things on these calls, and travels. And some of them are like, oh yeah, I'm so jealous. I always wanted to go to Korea. Yeah, but I can't make it. I've got this other business meeting I got to attend. I can't make that. So it's always fun. It's always fun to talk to the investors.
Yeah, amazing. So our next investor trip, we'll finalize the date shortly for Pilar and Mario. We've already got a lot of interest already. So everyone's invited to come to Brazil. And it's just amazing what's how the business has evolved, and we went through such incredible tough times. I mean, my goodness, for the first 7 years, we're in our 8th year now, but for the first 7 years, seriously tough times, and it was really down to the support of our amazing investors who got us through it. And as you said, Eric, before, a lot of our guys invest in all of our companies that we've raised money on, and just so appreciative of their support. Amazing. And Mario, you certainly have a big following. I must say, you have a very loyal, dedicated following. Like you built that channel for the last, 10 years is it now?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how many people I've met through that channel, because you usually think, social media, you don't meet anyone, you don't go out, but I've had so many people from all walks of life contact me, and of course I can't meet everyone, but I've met people like you and others, it's really opened a lot of avenues for me from the beginning, from 2015 till now, and this is like a brand new road for me. No, a pun intended, I guess. Gold road. If someone had told me like 12 months ago that I'd be doing this, I would have said no, I don't think so. But you contacted me on January 4th through WhatsApp, and it's the rest is the history now. History.
We're really glad to have you. We're glad to have you on board, Mario. It's been really a really great adventure. We brought you. We contacted you first because we were obviously fans of your channel, and then that kind of led into, well, would you like to be a member of the board? And then of course from there it was, well, look, Eric and Max are going to Ethiopia for the Kefi deal and meet Harry, and we're going to be hosted there. And you came along, and that was a great trip. We had a lot of fun on that trip, didn't we, Mario? And just Ethiopia was a wonderful country, and meeting Harry. Harry was we were treated with such hospitality there. Harry really laid out the red carpet for us, and it was a really good trip. And it was cool to see the mine site and where things are going to happen there.
And the thing I've noticed about the two trips, we don't just go there for the business, but the hosts there, like they take us to see, like we went in Addis Ababa, we drove around to see the whole place, we went to a museum, and we did the same thing in Seoul. We went to the palace. So I think that's important as well. It's not just like going there and doing the business and getting out, so that a little bit about the country. Yeah,
we get to see a bit about the culture, like you said, and also we get to eat great food. The food in both of those places, in Ethiopia and in Korea, were amazing. I'm a foodie, so that's half the reason I travel anyway. So they've been great trips, and it's been really good to have you on board, because we've become pretty good friends, and that's been a real sort of icing on the cake.
Yeah, real honor to have you, Mario. And the great thing is you can still do your job with such passion. It doesn't change anything with Innecco 64. In some ways, it might just add a little bit more perspective and different angle for your subscribers, that you're getting out to see some mines and things like that. So we're just so honored to have you on the team. And yeah, couldn't imagine anyone better, mate. And you're great company, right? Everyone loves traveling with Innecco 64, don't they, Eric?
Mario's good fun, not only on the at the mine sites, but also afterwards when we're hanging out, having some couple of beers and some food. He's always good for conversation. We're always Mario and I, whether we're on the bus or walking down the street or sitting in a pub having a beer, we're always chatting about global geopolitics and metals and things like that, and we have some really, really good, interesting conversations.
I think, Mario, next week you're off to Germany and you're also going to be on the same panel as our very dear friend Doug Casey. Is that right?
Yeah, I was invited to speak at the German Gold Show, or the Deutsche Goldmesse in Frankfurt, and I'll be making the first speech on Thursday morning at 8:45. I'm preparing it already. So I'm looking forward to it. And Doug Casey, I've had him on my channel, so it would be nice to meet him in person. And one of my first business trips was to Frankfurt when I worked in Switzerland, because my bosses were German, and they took me to the Frankfurt Stock Exchange golf day, because I was the only one who played golf in the office. And it's a great place, and around Frankfurt as well is a very nice area. I think we went to Wiesbaden, which there's a big U.S. base there, and it was in the summer when I went, and they had all the street festivals. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Please send Doug our best. He's a tremendous supporter of our group, and we just love Doug. And the Doug's Take is a fantastic YouTube channel also. I mean, I think the two greatest inventions in the last 50 years are basically WhatsApp and YouTube, and that's how we found you, isn't it? So that's amazing, right? YouTube is the most amazing business model I've ever seen. Yeah.
Jeremy loves the WhatsApp. He's on calls and messaging everybody all day long.
In Brazil, they call it zappy zappy or something like that.
Very popular.
It's
You
very
can't do
popular
business
there,
these
I
days
think.
without WhatsApp, can you, at all?
Yeah.
No, great. Well, listen, Old Gold, I'll let you wrap it up. And yeah, another great week. You're building up a great following now, Eric. So well done, mate.
I hope so. There's been some new investors and new subscribers that have come through, so that's really good to see. For anybody who's interested in anything we've talked about, the Chancery royalty or the Pilar round of funding that's still open, we'll put the links down in the description. For anybody that's just curious about us, please get a hold of us, contact us. We have a whole team here, and that's exactly what we do. Is we talk to people who are curious or interested in either in asking questions or in investing or both, and usually they both go together. So, in any case, for anybody interested in those, links down below. Please share this with any friends that you think might be interested as well, who are interested in gold or tungsten or precious metals. So thank you very much, Mario, for coming on board today. I really appreciate your time. I know that you're a busy guy, and Jeremy as well. I know how busy you are, so it's been great to have you, to catch you for 40 minutes. So if that's it, if that's all anyone has to say, then I guess we're going to wrap it up for today. Next week, we've got a special treat for you. I've got Enrique and Richard back. Richard was on a couple weeks ago with Jeremy talking about Pilar. We're going to go a little more in-depth into Pilar. Enrique and Richard are going to be on site, and we're going to be speaking to them, so that'll be a really good one. And then after that, we've got another episode that's actually pretty good as well with a special guest. So we got a lot of good things lined up for you. Stay tuned, and have a great week, everybody. This is Old Gold signing out until next time.